Hi guys, if you're rejoining me from the last video where we completed the base game achievements, welcome back. If you're new, welcome to the Perfect Gaming Guides channel guys. We'll be completing all of the FTF Frankfurt DLC achievements in this one guys, so let's get straight into it. So first of all guys, we're just going to double check that our settings are the same as mine, so we're going to get into the settings and then player assist. And just double check that you're set to beginner there. Then we're going to go to the trains and then we're going to choose a route. And then we're going to choose Frankfurt Fulda. Select training modules guys, we're going to do these two training modules. So we're going to choose the top one and then press our A button to get started.
Welcome to Frankfurt Main Hauptbahnhof, located in the German state of Hesse. The station opened on the 18th of August 1888 and in the years since has been named the most important transport hub in Germany.
Press the A button
Deutsche
so that we
Bahn.
can start, and you'll see that we get these waypoints guys, so we're just going to head
there is a route
along
map
following the waypoints.
Let's place this missing
It's going to
one
find
while
us
we
our
wait.
first route map, and we're going to actually collect all of those later on in this guide.
There are more route tasks to discover. Make sure to apply missing route maps, fix Bemble pictures, restock first aid points and
So
eat
just turn round and
Frankfurters.
just keep heading along the train following the waypoints guys. At this final one we can actually step up onto the train, open up the door and then just take a seat.
Take a seat. The train is just about to leave. Frankfurt Main Hauptbahnhof took 5 years to build, and for 27 years was the biggest rail station in Europe. In 1956, the station became fully electrified. A year later, it welcomed the biggest track diagram signal box, featuring 15,000 relays controlled by 16 operators. This remained in use until 2005. Over its 48-year lifespan, the track diagram signal box controlled over 20 million trains and over 90 million shunting maneuvers. Tracks along platforms 6 and 9 were expanded into unused baggage platforms to facilitate the longer ICE trains. When Germany hosted the World Cup in 2006, station signage was updated to improve navigation. Welcome to Frankfurt. Explore the rails of a sprawling modern metropolis and take control of regional, commuter and intercity express duties in Train Sim World. Lean into the action with the all-new DBBR 411 ICE-T. An extravaganza of electric traction awaits.
So easy as that guys, that's the first one out of the way. The next one, we're actually going to learn how to drive that train that she was talking about there. So we're just going to select the next module. So this is the iced tea train that we're driving here, guys, and there's an achievement for driving this one that we've already done a little bit of work on from the previous video. But don't worry, if you've not caught that one, this guide's going to cover you off to get that anyway.
In this training module, you will be taken through the operation of a DBBR411I-CET, electrical multiple unit.
So we're just literally following the instructions that she's going to give us here, guys.
ICE stands for Intercity Express. The T in ICET stands for the...
So as with the other trains, guys, we can use our up on our D-pad. Up and down can change your reverser into forward.
Reverser to forward. This controls the direction of travel. Set the headlights to indicate that this train is operational.
Put our headlights to normal, just in the centre of the console there.
The ICET is equipped with GNT to facilitate a smoother ride and higher speeds. Enable the GNT now.
So the GNT is around the corner here in this little compartment. So look for the switch that says GNT and switch that on. Then we're putting the NITEC on as well.
GNT allows trains to tilt, enabling them to drive at up to 30% faster than the signed speed limits.
And as before, guys, we can use our
Open
right and left D-pad for opening and closing the doors. So we're going to use our right D-pad to open them.
The ICET is the only German high-speed train in service that has tilting technology. This means that it leans into curves, similar to a motorcycle, so that passenger comfort isn't as affected by
And we're going to use the right D-pad again to close the doors again, guys.
Close the doors before departure. The BR411
So we can just now start pulling away, guys, and it's just our right trigger as usual. So RT to increase the power and RB to decrease it back to 0. If you've followed on from the previous guide, guys, you have actually driven this train before for doing one of the scenarios that we done. So you may already be familiar with this one. And as before, guys, we have the little red dot on the outside of the speed dial. Just as a reminder, that's the speed limit of the current area of the track that we're on. And if you're still to get your base game achievements for the distances travelled, guys, so like the 500 miles achievement for example, try and stay under the speed limit as much as you can while you're using these trains in this video.
With a top speed of 230 kilometers an hour, it is the slowest of all ICE trains currently in service. This, however, is rarely a problem, as it is mainly used on routes with many curves and lower speeds. Now you've built up some speed, you can return the throttle to the off position to begin coasting. On level grades, you can coast to maintain your speed, reducing energy consumption and stress on the motors. When coasting, always remain vigilant of the gradient, as changes could cause the train to speed up or slow down. Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply a small amount of braking force by moving the train brake into the braking range.
So we can speed up again now, guys, until we get through the tunnel, so we can just increase right up to number 10 on our power. And again, just try and keep under that speed limit if you can. So I just coasted once I've got the power or the speed up near the speed limit, guys, are just going to sort of coasting mode. So just using our RB button to get back to 0 power, and then when you're ready to start braking, we can use our left trigger. So just as I come out the other side of the tunnel, down to 0 on the power. With about 900 metres to go, 950, you want to start braking
by moving the train brake into the braking
using
range.
your LT. So I went full on to about 8 on the brakes there, just to give it a good chance to slow down as we were going pretty fast. Then just gradually take the brakes off, guys, so that you're coasting again. And it is good to get used to kind of doing that, guys, because it does take a little bit of getting used to when to brake. Probably the hardest part of the game, to be honest. So we're just gradually increasing our brakes here, and we're going to try and stop as close as possible to the marker. As this is a training session, guys, you don't really need to be super accurate on that, you just need to stop at the platform.
Nice job.
Now we'll use our right on the D-pad to open the doors up.
You can now use the passenger door controls to open the doors.
I'm just waiting on the passengers loading.
Good work. That concludes all of the basics of operating this train.
And that ends our session there, guys. So we're going to hit our menu button just to continue on. Then go back into our main menu. So that was the first of the training modules for that area done, guys. We're going to go back into the trains again, then we're going to go to choose a route. Frankfurt, Fulda again. And training modules again, and we're going to do the second module. So select the bottom one this time, LZB Introduction.
In this training module, you will learn about Linienzugbeeinflussung, or LZB. LZB is required on lines that allow for speeds higher than 160 kilometers an hour, as the braking distances are too high for normal signal operation. This train has already been mostly set up for you, but before you depart, you will need to make sure the LZB safety system and AFB speed control system are switched on. The safety switches are in the isolation cabinet.
So we're just turning round to this cabinet on our right here, guys,
and then set
opening
the
it up.
LZB isolation switch to the required position.
And we're going to switch on the LZB to normal. Go into this screen just on our left here, guys, it's indicated. And we're going to press number 9 on the screen. And then we're going to press number 6. And you can actually zoom in on that. And maybe make it a bit easier to see. I think it's using the left stick to do that.
As you are already in an LZB area, the train is already showing the U indicator in the cab and on the HUD, which tells you that the train is under active LZB monitoring.
Yep, so that blue U tells us we're in a speed
The current
controlled
maximum
area.
speed is 160 kilometers an hour, indicated by the blue pip on the HUD and the red triangle on the in-cab speedometer. Set the AFB to the maximum speed of 330 kilometers an hour. As you move the lever, you will see
we're
the
just
blue
putting
bar on
the
the
AFB
HUD and the yellow
all the way
diamond
up
on
to
the
the
in-cab
maximum there,
speedometer.
guys.
Stop after reaching 160 kilometers an hour, as that is the current As the maximum speed limit changes, the blue bar and yellow diamonds will adjust to the new
just
speed
use our
limit.
RT button to increase our speed now, guys, and
Now
pull
you're
away.
set up, apply some power with the throttle. The combination of AFB and LZB will manage your train at a safe speed.
What all of that's doing will become more apparent as we go on, guys, but basically what it's done is it's set a automatic speed limiter when we reach a AFB controlled zone or LZB controlled speed zone. The train, as long as we've got all that switched on that we just switched on, the train will automatically adjust its speed without us having to touch the controls. So you can see on the outside of the speedo now, or the speed dial, we now have a sort of blue colouring round about the outside of it. That lets us know that we've actually got that all set up, and that adjusts, you'll see that moving automatically as we reach different speed zones. So as it stands right now, we can't go over the speed limit because we've got all that switched on and we are in an LZB controlled speed area. So yeah, I was initially a bit confused by this go via instructions, guys, that kept popping up. I was thinking that I actually had to stop at these parts, but you don't. You literally just need to pass right through it. It's almost like waypoints.
In a moment, the Geschwindigkeit, speed light, will appear on the HUD and in-cab speedometer. When this is solidly lit, it means the train needs to slow down. When using AFB, the train will automatically slow down. With AFB disabled, the driver will need to slow the train. If the light is flashing, you are traveling too fast and are about to receive an emergency brake application unless you can slow the train to the maximum permitted speed. You are approaching a block occupied by a train. The combination of LZB and AFB will automatically slow and ultimately stop the train safely without input from the driver.
As I've put up on screen there, guys, if the red G comes up solid, the train basically needs to slow down, but because we're in that LZB and AFB enabled zone and we have those switched on, the train will automatically start slowing itself down, and you can see that the speed is reducing without me touching anything, and also that blue bar that I was talking about that's round about the outside of our speed dial, that's automatically reducing as well. And our speed will just continue to match that the whole time in this LZB controlled area. So LZB and AFB combination there has literally stopped the train safely without us having to touch it at all. And you can see the reason it's doing that, guys. There's a red signal ahead of us there, so obviously there's danger ahead on the track.
Nice work. They should be out of your way soon and you can carry on your journey. Reset the traction lock by moving the throttle to the off position. Yep, so on this train, as a reminder, if you've used this one before, guys, we just need to, and the same with all the trains, when the interlock's on, we just need to reset our power and our brakes back to 0 on this, and that'll allow us to clear that red interlock box and pull away again. Momentarily, the ender light will flash, signaling you are nearing the end of an LZB-controlled section. You will have 10 seconds to react by using PZB release before the train will start braking to a stop.
Okay guys, when this alarm goes off, we're going to have to press on this button here for the PZB release. This is just like a kind of safety features in case the driver hasn't noticed that you have left the speed controlled area, and the train will automatically brake and stop if you don't press this within 10 seconds. So we just need to wait on that buzzer going off. And you can see that end flashing on our display there. As soon as that happens and we get the little warning, we just need to set that to pressed.
Once acknowledged, the ender light will remain on until you leave LZB control and return to normal signaling systems. Your final approach will be under normal signaling systems, so drive accordingly.
So when the instructor says under normal signalling, that basically means that we're back in control of the train and we need to make sure that we're regulating the speed ourselves this time as we've exited out of that speed controlled zone. So we do need to reduce our speed a little bit here as we're coming to an area that's 110. we're now approaching another couple of changes of speed here, guys, so we're going to have to reduce further. So I approached this one a bit too hot, guys, so just make sure that you're braking. You maybe want to start braking about 1.2 kilometers away from our destination, guys. So we're just going to coast at around 35, 30, something like that, kilometers an hour, guys, along the platform. And then once you get down to maybe about 100 metres, 80 metres, something like that, you can just start gradually increasing brakes pretty gently. And then we can bring our train to a stop. And that's the second training module finished, guys.
Good job. You have arrived safely. That concludes this training module.
So up pops your achievement for completing the training modules on Frankfurt Fulda, guys. And we're just going to back out to our main menu. So we're going to go into the trains again, guys. Then we're going to select choose a route. Back into Frankfurt to Fulda. This time we're going to select scenarios. And then we are going to select the Frankfurt ferry. Press A to get started, guys. So during this one, we're going to pick up the FTF Sailor achievement at the end of this journey, guys. We need to run this route, making some stops at stations and picking up passengers, and then travel back again. If you haven't earned the base game TSW5 Proclaimer achievement yet for travelling the 500 miles or any of the other distances yet, guys, while driving under the speed limit, you can get a good chunk of that mileage done during this video. So we've got another new train here, guys, that we haven't driven yet, and we're just going to set up the train as per the instructions given. We're going to insert our reverser handle here, and we're going to press A and set our reverser to forward. Then we're going to put the brake key to on, which is just over on the right hand side here. Then we are going to unlock the doors. Our platform's on the right side this time, guys, so we're going to use the D-pad right. We're just going to wait until the bar fills up, all the passengers are on, and then we can use our right D-pad again to close over those doors, guys. Same as other trains, guys, that have got two sticks, we're going to use RT and RB for increasing and decreasing the throttle, and we're going to use LT and LB for increasing and decreasing our brake. If you do increase the power too quickly with this train when you're trying to pull away, guys, you will get a lot of wheel slip and you won't go anywhere, so set the power quite low when you're trying to drive off. Use the distance bar above, guys, so that we know what the speed limit on the track ahead is, and the speed limit marker down in the speed dial below to help us stay within those limits. Each time that we get close to the speed limit, we're going to click back to 0 power, guys, and just coast, and that's going to save you having to brake all the time and reset the red box interlock. So speed limit has changed now, guys, as you'll see down in our dial below, so we can start to increase our speed. So we'll just bump it up to 10 now until we start approaching that limit. And the speed limit has increased again, guys, so yeah, again we're just going to keep following that as best we can and staying within that limit. So we're up to 80 just now, and looking ahead there in the distance we can see that the limit's about to go up to 100, so we can get ready to start accelerating a bit harder. So our first stop is about 1.5 kilometres from here, guys, as we can see up on the top left display there. So we're going to start to slow down using our LT at around 700 metres, guys, from the station. We'll slow down to around sort of 30-40 kilometres an hour and then just coast for the last 200 metres or so. you don't really need to get the positioning absolutely spot on here, guys. Again, if we just stop at the platform, that's usually good enough. Try and stop as close to the marker as you can, but you don't need to get it absolutely spot on. So using left on our D-pad this time, as the platform's on our left, we're going to open the doors. Then when the bar fills up that top left hand corner, we're going to press our left D-pad again to close them again. So we need to reset the brake here, guys, so we're setting our brake and throttle back to 0, so using both LB and RB to set both of those back to 0 until the box turns white again. Now we're going to apply some power to pull away, so I've set it at about 3 to try and pull away. If you set it any higher than that, you might find that you get a lot of wheel slip again and you just don't go anywhere, so just gradually build it up once we start moving. As you can see, we're on a bit of an upward slope here. On the right hand bottom corner we can see the gradient of the track, so I think that's why it's quite difficult for us to pull away at the beginning there. This is a much faster part of the track, guys, so we can go up to 150. I've just gone into coasting there as I've got pretty close to the limit, and we are approaching 3 speed changes just ahead as well, guys, so we need to be preparing ourselves to slow down a little bit. And this train is not great for braking. It does take quite a bit of distance at times to actually get it to slow down and stop, as you've probably noticed so far. So we're going quite fast now, and as I said, the brakes are not great on this train, so I've started to slow down at around 1 kilometre away from the station. Actually left the braking a little bit late on this one, so if you start braking around 1 kilometre you should be good. So I'm coming in a bit too fast here, but it's all good. So as you can see on this one, I'm quite far from the marker, guys, but that's still okay. unload the passengers using our right on our D-pad. We now need to change ends on the train, guys, so we're going to set the train brake to full service, so that's position 9. So using our LT or LB buttons depending on where you've currently got your stick at, so it's position 9 that you want to go. Then we need to set the brake key to the off position, so that's just over on the right there. And then finally we're going to take the reverser, we're going to set that to off, and then we're going to take the reverser handle out. Just behind us in the panel to our left there are some signal lights, so we're going to set those to tail lights, as this is going to become the back of the train. And then we can press Y to get out of our seat. Go down through the door and we can exit out onto the platform. Take a right and we're just going to head all the way to the what is now going to become the front of the train, guys, and enter the cab. Use A to open the door and we just look at the steps and press Y, that allows us to climb up. Then we can press Y again to sit down in the driver's seat. Close the door first, obviously. And then we're going to insert our reverser handle again, just on the left here. And then we're going to set it into the forward position.
Störung.
Set the headlights to reduced, which is just in this switch right in front of us there. Set the signal lights to headlights, so that's the panel behind us again. So signal lights to headlights, so right over at the right hand side. And then finally we're going to set the train brake to running. So that's this lever here. And we can just wait on our passengers loading now. So platform's on the left this time, so it's left on our D-pad to open and close the doors for this part. So I've arrived a little bit ahead of schedule there. You can see, guys, the time is 14:14 and 50 something seconds, and I'm not supposed to depart until 14:15. So if you arrive a little bit ahead of schedule, you need to sit and wait until the time actually passes. So we're going to apply power for about 3 or 4 here, using our RT to pull away, and then again as we get going we can gradually start to increase that. Again, we're about to go through a few speed changes here, guys, so you want to maybe stay around 80 if you reach that high, and then just ease off and go into coasting mode at 0 power. And now we can start increasing our speed again. can see I'm kind of switching on the power a bit too hard there, guys, and you can see that the display down on the HUD goes a kind of red. That just basically means that you're overpowering and you need to ease off the accelerator a bit. So I'm just sitting at under 140, guys, and I've gone back into coasting mode as the track ahead is about to go down to a limit of 140 anyway. It's going to drop down a little further again here just ahead. It's dropping down to 100, so I'm going to have to brake a little bit and then just start coasting again. Maybe braked a little too much there, so we can actually get back on the power a little bit just to speed up a bit to get closer to 100. So our station is around 600 metres from here, and we're going to start slowing down at that point using our LT, our brakes, guys. So ideally down to about 30, maybe 40. And then just coast for the last sort of part of it, and then you can start braking as you get closer.
Huurvrijgabe, huurvrijgabe, huurvrijgabe.
Use our left D-pad again to open our doors. And we can now lock them, so left again on our D-pad. We now need to reset our brake and throttle again back to 0 using LB and RB until the box turns white, and then we can apply some power again. So again, you can see I'm slipping like mad here, guys, because I'm trying to go onto like even 2 or 3 to try and pull away at this bit for some reason. It just wouldn't move, so I actually had to pull away at power level 1 here. And I'm not on a hill, so I'm not really sure why that's doing that, but anyway, this train seems a bit funny that way. So we can gradually start to increase our power again now that we've got going a bit. So 1.7 kilometres to our next stop, guys. So there's a speed change just ahead, that's 80, so we're going to try and stay under that as it's not too far away. Just go into coasting mode once you get close to that. So some more speed drops ahead of us here guys, so we need to drop down to 70, then 60, 40, 30 as we approach the station. So we're already approaching this station pretty slow guys if we're sticking to the speed limit, so this one's pretty easy to stop on time. So we're going to go down to 30 eventually. And in my attempt to slow the train down, I was going a little bit quick. Reached the 30 zone there, actually ended up stopping completely, so just started it up again. And we're just going right to the end of the track as close as we can guys and pulling the train to a stop. Open up our doors on the right using our right D-pad again guys. Set the headlights to signal lights, so that's our switch that's just straight in front of us there. So headlights to signal lights. Then we're going to set the signal lights to tail lights, so that's the switch behind us. So signal lights to tail lights, which is over on the left hand side. Now we'll turn back round and we're going to take the reverser and set it to off. And then we're going to remove the reverser handle. We can now change ends in the train again guys, so we're going to get up, pressing our Y button, exit out the door, except not that one, because we're going to end up on the track if we do that. Exit out the door onto the platform, close the door over again, and then we're going to head to the opposite end of the train again. So back in this final door here, back through, close the cab door behind us, and then press Y to sit in our chair again. So we're going to put the reverser back in, we're going to set the reverser to forward, going to put the brake key to on, so that's over on our right hand side here. Not the brake overcharge, that's the wrong one. Brake key to on. and now we can set the train brake to running. So just pushing our brake all the way forward to position 0. Now we're going to set the signal lights just behind us to the left to headlights, and we can now lock the doors. So left on our D-pad for that one, as the platform's on our left. We're going to reset the brake and the throttle back to 0, guys, using LB and RB just to reset this red box here for the interlock, and that will allow us to pull away again. So I'm trying to pull away at a lower power this time and it's not doing anything, so I've had to actually go up to 5 this time. This train's really quite weird, seems quite inconsistent in the amount of power that you need to use to get away, so just kept gradually increasing the power until it actually started moving. Then when it gets moving you can step down the power a little bit so that you don't spin the wheels as much. I think if you just keep sitting at 10, that might not work out. So some more speed changes just ahead, guys, so we probably want to stay around 40 until we get into the zone that it goes up to 70. So when we get past these lights here, the speed limit should change. Yeah, there it goes. So we can increase a little bit here, up to around 70, and then it's about to step up to 80 as well. Again, guys, just get into the habit of getting close to that speed limit and dropping our acceleration down to 0 and just coasting so that we're not going over the speed limit. And always keeping an eye up in that distance bar just for any changes in speed ahead. That just gives us time to prepare what we're going to do, whether we can accelerate further or whether we're going to have to brake. So another speed change up ahead, guys, so we can go up to 100. But we are getting closer to our destination, obviously, so we're only sort of 1.2 kilometres away. So just keep that in mind when you're speeding up, that you're going to have to slow down, obviously, pretty soon. So So I'm just coasting here guys, I'm doing about 80 and I'm going to have to start braking maybe around the 750 metres mark. Just gradually braking just to bring that speed down a little bit. So you can see that we're going up a hill here as well guys, with the gradient on the right there where the arrow's pointing to, so that's going to naturally slow you down anyway, obviously going uphill. And I'm sitting coasting here and you can see my speed is dropping. So as before, ideally sort of 30-40 kilometres an hour as you approach the platform, and then that makes managing the stop so much easier. So again, I'm kind of trying to stop right on the marker there, but to be honest it doesn't really matter. That just gets you extra XP, which doesn't matter to be honest. As long as you're at the platform, we're all good. So set our brake to position 9 there. We'll use the left D-pad to open our left doors for that left hand side platform. You'll notice now guys, we're a little bit behind schedule here. It's 14:31 and 30 seconds is the target time. We're at 14:35. Again, that doesn't matter for any achievements or anything. We're going to reset our brake and throttle back to 0 again with our LB and RB guys, just to clear that red box as usual. And we're going to have to apply power right up to 10 to pull away here guys. We're on a hill, remember, although the gradient's not showing it, the bit at the back of the train is still on that hill, so we need to apply quite a lot of power here to actually get going. And now it's actually shown that we're on a hill again, so whack the power all the way up to 10. And it does seem to take forever for us to actually speed up at this bit because we're on that slope. So speed limit is way off where we are just now guys. It's 150 at this bit and I'm only sitting at like 80, so there's no way that I'm going to get anywhere close to that. Kind of thinking that if maybe I had gone down the power a little bit, I'm sitting at 10 the whole way there, if maybe once I got the train going and then I reduced the power a little bit and then gradually built it up, I might have accelerated a bit quicker than what I did there, but not sure. So anyway, we're up at 100 kilometers an hour now anyway, and we're getting pretty close. So 3 kilometers to go to our next stop, so we'll get there pretty soon at the speed that we're going now. And there is actually a change of speed down to 110 just ahead of us anyway, so all good. Let me know what you think of the game, guys, in the comments. I've actually been quite surprised about enjoying this game. I wasn't really thinking I would enjoy it that much, but I've found it quite relaxing actually, quite chilled, just sitting watching the scenery going by and learning how to drive a train. It's pretty cool. So we're down to our last kilometre and we're going to start having to think about braking, guys. So LT will get that speed under control as we approach the platform. Again, aiming for that target of sort of 40-ish kilometres an hour as we approach the platform is your ideal. And then once you get close to that, you can just go into coasting mode again. All nice and relaxed, and think about using our brake once we get to that sort of last 100 metres. I've hardly even needed to touch the brake at all there, guys. Just with the momentum of the train, it's just taking us almost to the right spot, and then we can just put our brakes on. Right on our D-pad this time for the right doors, guys. And we'll get the little message, thanks for helping out today, feel free to explore the festival before finishing, guys. So wait for the next instructions, so end shift, when you're ready to finish, walk to the marker. So we're just going to get up out of our chair, go out the door and out onto the platform. Take a right and just head all the way along the platform, guys, to the marker. Well done, let's see how you did. So this gives you like scores and stuff like that, guys, if you're interested in any of that part of the game. I was more interested in just getting the achievements and learning how to drive the trains, to be honest. And up pops our FDF Sailor achievement, guys, for completing the Frankfurt ferry scenario. So just use our menu button to back out of there, guys, and we're going to head back to the main menu. We're going to go back into the trains again. Choose a route. Frankfurt to Fulda again. And we're going to select a different scenario this time, so into scenarios again, and this one we're going to select is Mind the Gap. So first of all, we're going to close the doors on the right, guys, using the right on our D-pad. Then we'll turn round to our right here and we're going to open the panel door. We'll set up the safety systems here, so we're selecting GNT and we're going to set that to normal. Then we'll select NITEC and we'll switch that to on. Then we'll switch LZB isolation switch to normal. Then turn back round to our console, and on the left monitor there we're going to zoom in on that and we're going to press the number 9 on there first of all. Then we'll press number 6, so that's our AFB that was switched on. We'll then get the AFB stick, which is the second big one on the left there, and we're going to put that all the way up to 230 kilometers an hour. And if we set everything up correctly, guys, your HUD will look like mine's below, circled with a blue B on, and we'll have that sort of blue outline on our speedometer as well there, guys. So there's an achievement on this one for driving this particular train under the speed limit for 100 kilometers, guys. So initially we need to control our speed manually, but then the LZB and the AFB are on and that will automatically adjust our speed when we reach an LZB controlled zone, similar to what we've done before. When the B down here turns to a U, that's when you know that you're in the automatically controlled speed zone and we no longer need to control the brakes or accelerator. But for now, we're in full control, we're responsible for acceleration and braking. So staying under that limit of 40 at the moment, and we can see ahead it's shortly going to change to 60 and then 70 up in our distance bar there at the top right. So quite a few changes ahead here, guys. So we've got 60, then 70, then down to 40, up to 60, and then almost immediately up to 120. So I'm going to increase my speed a little bit here just to get up closer to that speed limit. So yeah, don't speed up too much here, guys, because it does go to 70 and then pretty quickly drops to 40. I don't think it's possible to derail a train when you have this set on beginner mode. I could be wrong in that, but I've not managed it. So just about to drop down to 40, guys, so I'm just going to drop down my speed a little bit by braking before I get there. Then I can go back into coasting again. So we're approaching the LZB sign on the left hand side there, guys, so the speed will be controlled by the train automatically once we pass that sign. And you'll see the U show up on the HUD too, so there we go, that's it popping up. At this point we can just whack our power straight up to 10. And the train is basically going to control the speed and go as fast as it possibly can within the zone that we are in. If it needs to brake, it will do that for us, and we basically can just sit back and relax and enjoy this part of the journey. So it does say that we've got 14 kilometers to go for our distance up that top left hand corner, guys. So we will have some interaction that we need to do. We can't just basically walk away and leave it. We will have some interactions that we need to do. While in the LZB zone, the train's going to continue to follow the speed limit automatically set by the blue dot there on our speed dial. If you find the video useful guys, I would really appreciate a like on the video, and if you'd subscribe to the channel, it would really help the channel out a lot. So it's free, so please help out, much appreciated. So yeah, as I was saying, we've still got like 12 kilometres to go guys, but this train is pretty fast, so you can see that the speed limit here is 200 just now, and we will get up pretty close to that, so we will reach that distance in no time at all. See the red G has come up down at the bottom right hand corner guys, so that's telling us that there's something happening up ahead. You can also see in the distance bar that there's a red light as well, so that's kind of telling us there's something happening ahead that we need to be aware of, and the train's going to start gradually slowing down because we're still in that speed controlled zone for the LZB, so we don't necessarily have to do anything as such here until we find out what's actually happened. So you can see down there, guys, hello driver, we have had a call from another ICE train stranded on the tracks. As the closest train, you will help out crews on the ground as they evacuate passengers onto your train. So essentially what we're going to do is pull up alongside another stranded train, guys. The doors of our train need to be lined up with the doors of the stranded train, and then we ferry the passengers from that stranded train across onto our train and then take them to the next station. So we're still under the speed control. As you can see, we've still got the U down in the bottom right, so the train is still controlling our speed for us. So it says stop at location as indicated. As you can see, guys, we've still got 9.7 kilometers to go, but we can see up in the distance bar there we've got a red stoplight just ahead of us, so the train is bringing us to a halt automatically because of that red stoplight. So at this point we just need to sit and wait, guys. So in the meantime we can put our power and our brakes all the way to position 0 so that we're ready to pull away again once the light clears. So as you can see, the signal has now changed to green and we can start pulling away again. Just whack it up to 10. We're still in the speed controlled area for LZB, and the FB will control our speed for us. So we're going to use this view, guys. So you use the left stick, is that a left stick or right stick, can't remember, but click down on the left or the right stick and that will give you that view. Click it again and it will take you back to the in-cab view. We will use that when we're trying to line the trains up. It does make it a little bit easier because you can see the external of the train, you can see where the doors are when we're trying to line up our train with the other train's doors. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about when we get to that point though. So just about 3 kilometres to go now, guys, and we are going quite quick now, so that's not going to take as long at all. So we need to bring our train to a stop here, guys, just at this point ahead. So 600 metres to go for me here. You can see the stranded train just ahead there, guys, and we do need to bring the train to a stop fairly accurately here at the area that it tells us to stop. So I'm kind of flitting in and out of that view here, but for this first part you kind of don't really need to be viewing from the outside. Being in the cab's fine, but feel free to experiment using this view or being back in the cab, whatever works for you. If you overshoot this, guys, and end up passing by the marker, you may have to reverse the train slightly to get it to line up, which is a bit of a pain. So if that does happen, you need to select your reverser and obviously put it into reverse. So we're stopping in this position just ahead here, guys, as close to that as possible, and once we stop we're going to have to move the train again. Then we'll get our next instruction. You will have to be precise as you stop to allow ground crews to place a bridge between the two trains. So we need to line up the doors in our train with the doors of that stranded train beside us there. So if we bring our train a little bit forward, so just going to sort of power 1 or 2 until we start moving, and then just ease off of that and let it coast a little bit and be ready to brake. You can see the doors, guys, with the little yellow markers beside them. If we can get the doors of our train as lined up as possible with the train opposite, so that's really good there. We can just stop, put our brakes on, and that should be good enough. Just nudge forward a little bit if you need to, and once, so it's still showing 2 metres there, you can see the distance marker there. I felt as if I actually went too far there, but it was better where it was. But that's it, it's come up. When you're happy that the doors are lined up, head over and get ready to open the door. Once you've done that, we can go back inside the cab, get out of our chair, open the door and go to this marker here. We can now turn to our right here and open this door. I'm going to see the train driver from the other train, and we're just going to wait for the passengers to cross this little bridge here, guys. So once that's happened, we're just going to close our door. Get back into our cab again, closing the door behind us. Take a seat. Close the doors, obviously, sorry, left on our D-pad.
Schließvorgang eingeleitet.
So reset power and brakes back to 0. That'll clear our white box. Then we can pull away again, guys. So whack it up to 10. We're still in the LZB controlled zone, guys, so that's still going to control our speed for us for now. So again, we're just going to sit back and relax now and enjoy this bit of the journey as the train keeps control of our speed. So I don't know if this tunnel is actually a real place. I guess it probably is. It's pretty impressive with how long the tunnel actually is, so it must be going through a mountain or something like that. pops our FTF Sweet Tea achievement there, guys, for operating the iced tea for 100 kilometres under the speed limit. I did use this train for some of the base game achievements, guys, so I've already got some mileage on it. So you may not have that one yet, but you will get it during the course of this. And if you don't, you can always just repeat a part of this one and just leave it running on this sort of long part of the journey. If you find the video useful, guys, I would really appreciate a like on the video, and if you'd subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate that too. FTF True Frankfurter for completing 5 scenarios on Frankfurt Fulda, guys. So again, I've completed 3 of those on the base game while I was doing the achievements for the base game, guys. So if you followed along through the previous, you will also have 5. If you don't have 5 scenarios on Frankfurt Fulda yet, guys, you can just do what I done. Before you finish a scenario, you can actually quickly just make a save point just before you get to the very end of it. Then you can finish it and then go back into resume last played, play it again to finish, and you can keep rinsing and repeating that, and it's going to count each time that you do that. It's going to count as completing a scenario. So we're starting to get pretty close, guys, down to our last 2 kilometres now. So we're going to control the brakes here, guys, and we are going to brake and bring the train to a stop in this platform here. So again, getting to that kind of ideal speed of around 40 kilometres an hour as we approach the platform is pretty good. Then we're just going to coast until we get closer to the marker, and then we're going to put our brakes on. So open our doors on the right hand side, guys, with our right in the D-pad. We get the message up, thanks for your help today, let's see how you did. So that's us completed this one. And up pops our achievement, FTF True Frankfurter for completing 5 scenarios on Frankfurt Fulda, guys. So again, I've completed 3 of those on the base game while I was doing the achievements for the base game, guys. So if you followed along through the previous, you will also have 5. We're going to head back into the main menu just now. And for our final achievement in the Frankfurt DLC, guys, we are going to go back into the trains again. Then we're going to go to choose a route. Then Frankfurt to Fulda again. And we're going to go to free roam this time, guys. And we're just going to select to start at the default Frankfurt HBF. So we're going to get the FTF Got That Dog In Me achievement, guys, as I said, which is the final achievement in the DLC. This guide will walk you through how to get all of the items that we need to collect. It's not just going to show you on a map where they are. It's actually going to show you step by step how to get to and from each. So as we spawn in, we're just going to go straight ahead there, guys, and grab that route map that's just ahead of us. We're going to turn and head in a northwest direction, guys. Right up to this back wall here. And then turn round to the left, and just on our right hand side we're going to see a first aid box up on the wall, so we're going to interact with that. So that's our first aid box. Turn and head straight along platform 24, the wall should be on our right hand side here. And we're just going to keep going until we reach a staircase that goes down to the underground. So you can see the staircase there, and there is a ceramic pitcher just ahead of us there, so we're going to grab that. Then we'll turn around, guys, and we're going to cut across the tracks just where these blue signs are that tell us the platform number. And we want to cut across the tracks until we get to platform 15, I believe it is. So 15, this one here. Just as we get there, we're just going to go past the signs, guys, and past those stairs there. Just at the end of the bit where the stairs are, we're going to pick up a Frankfurter. Continue across the tracks, guys, in a southeast direction. Just using our compass here down the bottom right, guys. And when we're on platform 11 here, turn to the right and we're going to head along to the section that says C, and on that pillar there just below the C we'll find another first aid box. We're going to head straight down in a northeast direction this time, guys, just staying on that platform that we were on, platform 11. We're just going to keep heading all the way to the very end of that. In the distance there, up against the wall, you'll see another table with another Frankfurter on it. So we'll turn and we're going to head south now, guys, over towards the next platform that we need to go to, so platform 6, 7. So we've already actually picked this one up as a part of the training modules at the beginning of the video, guys, so that was the very first one that we got, so you will already have that, but I've just shown where it is. So we'll cut across the tracks now to the southeast, and we're going to just check the platform number there, so it's platform number 4, guys. And looking on these pillars in the centre there between the platforms, we're going to find another ceramic pitcher. Once we've picked that one up, we're going to go into the map by using our view button, and we're going to use fast travel to transport ourselves to Frankfurt Süd, guys. So that's these green tracks here. So just zoom out the map just so you can see exactly where we are. So fast travel to that. Once we spawn in, we're going to cut across the tracks, guys, over to the east, and we're looking for platform 9. So just keep heading down platform 9 here in a northeast direction, and eventually you'll see this sort of stone shelter here, and we're going to find another ceramic pitcher in there, so that's number 3. Turn around and we're going to cut back across the tracks again in a northwest direction. And we're going right across to platforms 1 and 2 here. So when on that platform, we're going to head southwest and just in this little shelter here, platform 2, we're going to find another Frankfurter. So we're going to spawn in a train now, guys, on platform 1 as the next location. We can't fast travel to it, so if you look at the track and we just press left on your D-pad, that's platform 1, left on the D-pad, and then we can spawn in a train. Just use any train you like here, guys. I've used the BR411DB. So we're going to get into the train, guys. Just open up the door. Make sure that you get into this end of the train, guys, like the left side of the train, so that we're pointing in the right direction, obviously. In through the doors into the cab here. And if we take a seat, we'll put the reverser into forward, and then we're going to go back into our map here. So we need to click on our own train here, so that's going to show up blue on the map, which can be a bit tricky trying to do it with a controller, to be honest. So click on our own train, then we go set path, then we're going to choose our destination, so it's these two sort of green tracks here. We're going to select platform 2. Once we've selected that, we can confirm, and that's going to set our destination up the top left there. So we can see it's just 1.2 kilometers away, guys, and we're just going to apply some power now with our RT. So if we come into this station here guys and we want to actually overshoot the stop marker by maybe 30 metres or so, and if you look out the window just to the right there where the arrow is, you're going to see where our next route map is. So stop the train, get out and head round to the left here as we open these doors up. So out onto the platform and turn left. Grab this route map, which is our third one. Then we are going to stay on this platform for now and we're going to head northeast. And just at the other side of this elevator here, we're going to see, oh, falling onto the track, you can see there's another ceramic picture there, so we can grab that. Continue northeast along this same platform guys, and at the other side of this pillar here there is a first aid box. So that's our third one of those. And then just continue northeast again on this same platform, and at the very end we're going to pick up a Frankfurter. Go back into our map using the view button again so that we can fast travel this time to Offenbach HBF. So once we've spawned in there guys, we are just going to head along the platform that we're on, heading east. And there's a little slope that goes down, and just at the edge of the slope there is another ceramic picture. So we'll grab that, so that's number 5 of those. Cross over the track just to the north of where we are and you're going to find our next route map, so that's number 4. Turn and head west and there's a planter here, and just at the other side of the planter there's another ceramic picture, so that's our 6th one of those. Continue along that same platform heading west guys. And we're going to find our next route map there, so that's number 5 of the route maps. Turn left here guys, and we're going to actually cross the track, just walk past it there. Yep, cross the track, and we're going to pick up our next route map, so that's platform 3-4. Turn to the right, heading just towards these benches here, just beside where we are, and we're going to pick up our next ceramic picture, which is number 7. Then head west, cut across the track guys. Heading west, and just up on that wall there of this pillar we've got our next, which is our 4th of the first aid boxes. Cut across the track again here guys, and just at the other side of this pillar we've got another Frankfurter. Then we're going to head west and we're going to find another first aid box on that same platform that we're on, so that's platform 3-4. Then continue further west and there's a further first aid box there guys. Heading northwest across the track and we're going to find another Frankfurter there, so that's on platform 2. And if we continue west along that platform, you see there's a couple of buildings there on those little stone buildings there. Behind one of those, over at the far side there, to the south, we are going to find another Frankfurter. Staying on this platform, we're going to continue to head west. That's platform 5. Head west and we're going to find our 8th ceramic pitcher, guys. Continue along on platform 5 to the east. And you can see there is a route map, and also just further on there is also a first aid box. Once we've picked up the first aid box, we're going to turn around, 180-degree turn, and we're going to just head straight down those stairs there, down to the subway. When we get to the bottom of the stairs, we're going to take a right, and just as we go round the corner, you're going to see the first aid box there. Turn right again, and just further along the corridor, we're going to find another Frankfurter, so that's number 8. We're now going to go into the map again here, guys, and we're going to fast travel to Hanau HBF. So as we spawn into this one, guys, we're going to head in a west direction, so cut across the tracks up onto platform 106, and we're just going to keep heading along there in a northwest direction along platform 106, and we can see we've got another first aid box there, number 9. Turn and face to the north, and you're going to see just on the next, cutting across to the next platform to the north there, there's another route map, so that's number 8. Turn to the east and we're going to cut across the tracks again, guys. Just ahead of us there at the corner of this building, we can see there's another Frankfurter there, so just head past the edge of the building here, guys, heading north, and when we get to the end of the railing we turn left, and then we're going to turn right to head down to the subway again. When we get to the bottom of the stairs, we're going to take a right, and just on this wall on our right here we have another route map, so that's number 9. Turn around and head northeast, and we are looking for platforms 1, 2, so this bit here we're going to turn left and head up those stairs. When we get to the top of the stairs, we're going to turn around and head to the southeast. When we get to the elevator here, we're going to see another ceramic picture just behind it. Then we'll go into our map again using view, guys, and we're going to go to Hanau Wolfgang. We'll just head along the platform that we're on here, guys, heading southwest, and this stone shelter right in front of us has got a first aid box just behind it. Then on the track just to our left of where we are, across the track, sorry, from where we are, there is another route map, so that's number 10. Turn right while we're on that platform there, and we're just going to cut across back to the first platform we were on, so platform 3 that is. Keep heading along until we reach this staircase here. and we're going to head down, and you can see just at the bottom of it there is another Frankfurter. We can go into our map again, guys, using the view button, and we are going to fast travel this time to Rodenbach. So starting off on platform 2 here, guys, just ahead of us. You can hardly see it for the amount of people on the platform, but there is a route map just there ahead of me. Turn around and point south, and you're going to see this smiley face graffiti on the wall. Just head towards that, and if you go past it, you will see our ceramic pot sitting there. Come back and back onto that platform, and then just head southwest along that platform. Keep going, and eventually on our left hand side, on the left wall there, we are going to find another first aid box. And there it is, our first aid box. So number 11 of those. Turn around, and we're going to cut across the tracks here, guys. And we're going to be heading southwest towards this stone shelter here. And there's another Frankfurter in there. Back into our map again using our view button, and we're going to fast travel this time to Langenselbold.
Vorsicht bei der Einfahrt.
So turn to our right as soon as we spawn in, guys, and you'll see the first aid box on the main building just opposite us, pointing northwest. Then we'll turn to our right, and we're just going to head along this platform here. A bit of an odd thing going on with this bit here. There's a bug in the game that you can't actually walk through that area for some reason. So turn and just head straight along the platform northeast, and just in at this little in shot here, we've got our next ceramic picture, so that's number 11. Turn and continue northeast, and then take a left at the corner of this building here. And we'll just go left again. Now heading southwest to get to this table here with our Frankfurter on it. And we can't seem to get through that way either. Turn back and head back round the building the way that we came. And this time we're just going to go straight across the track there. You can see our route map just ahead of us, guys. That's number 12 of our route maps. Turn and head to our west, and we're going to head for that building there with the sort of railings bit on it, and head down those stairs. Follow it round to the right, and we've got another ceramic picture just on the left hand side there, so that's number 12 of those. Back into the map again using the view button, and we're going to fast travel this time to Niedermitlau. Turn to our right and just stay on the platform that we're on, guys, and we're going to see a ceramic picture just behind us basically, so that's number 13. Turn back round, cut across the track here to the west, and we're going to see another route map. So that's number 13 of those. Turn and head northeast down these stairs here, just on that platform that we were on. Take a left at the bottom, and just ahead of us we're going to find another ceramic picture, so that's number 14. Again, for some reason you can't walk up that slope, so you need to turn back and go back up the stairs that we came up, back onto platform 2 and 3. So keep heading along there, and then just to our left there you can see another little table with another Frankfurter to the south there. Then we're going to continue to the southwest here, guys, and cut across over to platform 2-3, and just behind this stone shelter here, the second one it is, behind this stone shelter we've got another first aid box. We can now go into our map again, guys, and this time we're going to fast travel to Heiler Meerholz. On this one, we're just going to continue straight ahead on the platform that we're on, and just at the end of the building on our left here there is a table with a Frankfurter. Then we'll turn around and just cut directly across the track, and we're going to find our next route map just opposite that. Turn to our right and we're going to head east along platform 2-3 here, and we're going to find our next route map, so that's going to be number 15 of those so far. Then this staircase here, we're just to the left of it, we've got another of our ceramic pictures, and then we just continue round the left hand side, and on the back end of it there is another first aid box. Back into the map again, guys, and this time we are going to fast travel to Gelnhausen. So as we spawn in, we're going to turn round, guys, and just behind us is our route map. So that's number 16 there. Turn to our left, and just over at the corner there, and that little in shot against the wall of the building, to our northwest there is another Frankfurter. Then we'll turn and we're going to head west and head down these stairs here. You can see another ceramic picture there, so that's number 16 of those. Turn to our left and just continue heading along the corridor there, and we're going to find first aid box on the right hand wall there. Just use the stairs to the right of the first aid box, guys, just to go up onto the platform. So just double check, we're on platform 2-3 there, and just ahead of us behind that pillar is our next first aid box, so that's number 16. Back into the map again, guys, and this time we are going to fast travel to Heitzhust. So staying on the platform that we spawn onto, guys, we'll head northeast, and just ahead of us there we're going to find our 17th route map. Turn to the left and we're just going to head sort of north, cut across onto the other platform there, and you'll just see beside the stone shelter another Frankfurter, so that's the 16th one of those. Staying on platform 1 here, we're just going to head to the southwest here, guys. And we're going to find our next first aid box, so that's our 17th one of those. So we're now going to head southwest, and on the opposite platform there, guys, you'll see in the stone shelter there we have our next Frankfurter, so that's number 17. And then cutting across the track again, heading west, just over in this little in-shot here, we have our next ceramic picture, so number 17 of those. We're now going to go back into the map again, guys, and we're going to fast travel to Wertheim. So head east along the platform that we spawn on here, guys. Just opposite us on the other platform, actually, we can see number 18 of our route maps. Then cut back across onto the original platform, and on the stone shelter there we've got our next first aid point. That's number 18 of those. Turn to the left and cut across the track again, guys, and just underneath the footbridge there you can see our next ceramic picture, and we need to click our left stick to crouch to reach this here, guys. Come back out of there and we're going to click on it again so that we can stop crouching and run. Head east along this platform that we're on here, guys, and that bridge in the distance there, we kind of want to head towards that, just right along the tracks. And there's a little stone building just underneath that bridge before we reach it, actually. And our next Frankfurter is on our table just beside that little stone building. So number 18. Back into our map again, guys, and this time we're going to fast travel to Wächtersbach. So take a right here, guys, and head over the tracks to the west, and we're going to find our 19th first aid point there. And just to the left of that we are going to find our route map, number 19. Continue southwest along until we get to this sort of circular railing bit here, guys, that goes down the way, and we're going to head down the steps. And underneath these steps there is another Frankfurter. So number 19 of those. Go back up the steps, and at the top we're going to take a left this time and just follow the railing round back to the platform. Cut across the tracks here, guys, to the south, and we're going to find just over at the right there our next route map. That's going to show up as number 20. Turn to the left and just head along this platform northeast, and we're going to find another route map, and it's also going to show up as number 20, guys. So I think there's a little bug in the game there. Turn left, and this staircase just here, guys, the kind of glass encased staircase, we're going to go past that and then head down the stairs. And just straight ahead of us there we're going to find our next ceramic picture, so that's number 19. We can now go into our map again, guys, and this time we'll fast travel to Bad Zoden-Salmonster. So as we spawn in here, guys, we're going to head southeast, and just over in those bushes there, up against the fence where the building is, we're going to find our 20th Frankfurter. Turn around and we're going to head northwest over onto this platform here, and we're just going to head along the platform to the north. And we're going to find our next ceramic picture there, just in this little corner by the green pillar. Cut across the track, guys, and just to the east there we're going to see our next route map, so that's number 21. Turn left and cut across the track again, and just beside the other green pillar there we have got our next first aid point, so that's number 20. Cut across the track again northeast, guys, and we've got another first aid point, so that's number 21. And now we can use our fast travel again via our map to travel to Steinau. So turn around, guys, and head east on platform 4 where we are, and just at the top of these stairs here we're going to find number 21 of our ceramic pictures. Cut across the track to the southeast, and just behind this sort of building here we're going to find our 21st Frankfurter, and then we are going to bypass that building and head along that same platform in a westward direction, guys, and we're going to find our 22nd route map. Turn to our left and we can see at that main building there just across the track we have our 22nd Frankfurter. Follow that building along to the west, guys, and on the wall there just further along the building we have our 22nd first aid box, and we can now go back into our map again, and this time we're going to fast travel to Sluchtern. So we will turn to the north here, guys, cut across the track, and just opposite us here we can see that there is another ceramic picture just over here, number 22 that is. Turn around and we're just going to head straight down these stairs here at platform 4. Turn around to the right here and we're going to see the first aid point, so number 23 just in the right hand wall. Continue along the corridor and we can see our next Frankfurter there in the corner, guys, number 23. Turn to the left and head straight up the stairs onto that platform there, and we're just going to keep continuing along the platform, and against the building on the right there we have ceramic picture number 23. Turn left and face across the platform and we're going to see just to the left of us there our next route map, so number 23 there. We can now go into the map again, guys, and we're going to fast travel this time to Fulda. Turn to the left and cut across onto the other platform, guys, where the main building is, and we're just going to keep heading northeast here till we get to that smaller building, and just in at the corner of it we can see our table there with a Frankfurter, so that's our 24th one of those. Turn and face sort of northeast here and we're going to cut across the track, and in this little glass shelter here you're going to find our final Frankfurter, so that's the 25th one. Turn around and we're going to head south here, guys, and cut across the tracks, and you're going to see our next route map there on the next platform to the south there. That's number 24 of those. Keep heading southwest, guys, along that platform and just as we get to this pillar here we can see our next first aid box, so that's number 24 of those. Back into the map again, and this time we are going to fast travel to Neuhof. Turn left and head south along the platform, guys, and there's a little gap in this fence here, so we're going to go through that and continue south with the building on our left hand side here. Just pass by the gap there and there's another building, and just as we get past the corner of the second building there, there's our ceramic picture sitting there. Head back the way that we came, guys, and go back through that gap in the fence. Then take a left and head along the platform to the south, and you're going to find a first aid box just at the edge of the building there, in line with the edge of the building. That's our last one of those first aid boxes. Continue south along the platform, and there is a bit that sort of slopes down. We're going to find a route map just before that. Before we head down there, that's our final route map. Then we're going to head down the slope, guys, just behind where the route map is. And we are just going to follow the path round to the left here, guys, and left again up the stairs. Halfway up the stairs we're going to find our final collectible, so 25th of our ceramic pictures, and if we give it a few seconds, up pops our achievement, guys. FTF, got that dog in me for completing all the route tasks on Frankfurt Fulda. I hope you found the guide useful, guys. Please help the channel by hitting the like button on the video, and if you would subscribe to the channel I would hugely appreciate that. I'll continue posting videos for the DLCs on this one as I finish them, so I'll hopefully see you in the next one, guys.